experiences to share. First off, on a happy note, I had a very nice Father's Day with my boy. It was good all the way around. My daughter's, I don't know, Lake something, trying to learn how to wakeboard. And I talked to her. I'll tell you, the little things that really, really melt your heart when sometimes, I start telling my daughter, listen, you're Carolla. You got grit. You're tough. You got a constitution. You got intestinal fortitude. You are Carolla. You can do this stuff. That's what I got. That's how I got where I am. And then every once in a while, she'll send me a thing and she'll go, I took a Pilates class at 6:30 in the morning before I went to work. I'm a Carolla. Although this Carolla's too lazy for that shit. But I like it. It feels good, And so I talked to her. I was in Salt Lake City doing shows. And I talked to her Saturday night. And she was discouraged because she was the only one who couldn't get up on the wakeboard. She's never been wakeboarding before. And I said, well, now, I've worked with her, and it was a really it's an interesting thing to watch kids kind of flow into the space that they're supposed to be in, and I always kind of tell people to step back and see where they go. My son always it's like I talked about the UFC card last week, and he told me every single name with all the pronunciations of all the Krakistan guys, and then
Davishvili,
right, and then who's coming up next week with all the names stuff. That's what he likes, and he's always been that way. So I had in my old house, I had a sort of rumpus room. It was just kind of a workout room. I had a padded floor, some weights, some boxing stuff, and a balance board, the endo board, the thing with the cylinder. It's a 6-inch around, 14, 15-inch cylinder. You get on it, you go back and forth. And it's pretty simple stuff. It's pretty rudimentary. At a certain point when I was going back and forth, I thought to myself, can I face forward, get even, get in the middle, jump up, turn 180, and land back on the board and not eat shit? And it took me a minute to work up to that because I was like, I feel like I'm going to get up, I'm going to turn around, the board's going to lean one way or the other, I'm going to land, and I'm eating shit.
Or it spits out the side, and it's game over for that mirror.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of, it didn't have a lot of space in that room. Like
I remember that room.
If I ate shit, I was going to eat shit.
Yeah.
And I'd hit something. But for some reason, I decided, I think this is doable. Even though it didn't feel doable because when you get both feet off the board and you get in the air and you yank around to do a 180, it just seems logical that the board's not going to stay where you left it. But if you do it real quick, maybe it will. And I did it. It was fairly easy to do. I got to say, I just hopped up, pop, landed right back, and just kept mowing along. But every once in a while, when my kids were little, maybe 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5, they'd come wandering into the room, and I put them up on the board, and then I'd hang on to their hands and try to get them to do whatever. And I put Sonny up there, and he just fall over. He just like fall over, and I go, no, once you go that way, you got to go. It's all compensation. It's all correction, right? Bing, ding, 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 ding. That's all balance is. You're leaning that way a little, come this way. Right. And so he would just fall over. And I thought, all right, he doesn't have that weird balance. I have weird balance. There's no balance, sort of average balance, and then there's hyper balance, which I always had. But it's a built-in, it's a part of your inner brain or something. I don't know what it is, but I had that. And then when you have balance, if you're walking along, especially when we were bored and young, and you just see a hand railing that goes 30 feet, you jump up on it, and you just start walking down the top of the hand railing. That's all we did. So my son just fall over. I was like, all right. I put my 4-year-old daughter on there, and she's holding the thing, and I see her little hips go, ch-ch, 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 ch-ch. And I'm like, oh, it's built in. She's built in. Her balance is built into her.
In Spartan society, you just toss the boy away.
Oh, yeah. No, I wanted to, but the nanny blocked the dumpster. So I saw her little hip shifting. Now, I didn't see, she's not thinking about anything. It's just her body's on autopilot.
Expert level, just natural.
Yeah, right. So when she called me on Saturday night, she's like, oh, I can't get up on the board. Okay, I'm the only one who's not getting up on the wakeboard. I said, well, I thought back to the first time, people go, how did you go? You say you went water skiing when you were 15 or 16. It's like, yeah. You say you went snowboarding when you were 16. I should say skiing when you're 16. Yeah. Well, how'd you do that with your family? I go, I went with Jeff Buck's family. They have money. I would go with my friend to the lake house or to the ski slopes, and they would pay for it. They'd do everything. But the first time I'd ever gone water skiing or ever tried it, when I was about 15 and a half, maybe I was 16, I got up on one ski. No problem. It took me a minute at the beginning because it pulls real hard on that one ski. But as soon as I figured it out, I was just up and I was going and I was shushing them moguls, busting them moguls, rooster tails and everything. I was going nuts. So I said, Natalia, you're a Carolla. You got the balance. I know you got the balance because I was there watching your little hips on that balance board. You got this. Don't start thinking negative. You got the balance. I gave it to you. You got it. Now take it and get up on that wakeboard tomorrow. And then next day it was just sent me a picture of her in the back of up on the board with the wake. I'm a Carolla.
As a
Happy Father's Day.
cornerman, the pep talk works.
Oh yeah. Got it, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to say the right thing to the right person. You have to know how to talk to your fighter. Yeah. And I guess you know how to talk to her.
Well, it's always funny. I always thought during the fights when they have the Mexican fighters back in the 80s and stuff, every once in a while they'd be in the corner like famed trainer, Julio Esperanza, and they go, this man's a legend, been training fighters for 50 years, trained over 17 world champions. And then at some point they go, we'll put the interpreter in the corner so we can hear her in between the 11th and the 12th round. And you hear the guy translating. He's like, come on, you have to punch more. You're not punching enough. You need to punch more. You're not punching. You got to punch more, and you have to be a harder puncher. It's like, he's not saying it. It sounds great in Spanish, but it's like they're just talking about fucking Lou Duva. You got to win this round. Come on.
Recent UFC fight, Trevor Whitman gave his girl a pep talk. Like she was getting lumped up in one round, and then he said, "Get out there and do it," and it went viral. It was
really?
Yeah, it was a really good one. He told her to get out there and do it, and she did it. Yeah, it's in between. Yeah.
Well, where is it? Let's hear it.
They can find it. Absolutely.
It's Trevor who?
The Whitman. Yeah, Trevor Whitman gave his girl a pep talk in the middle of a UFC fight, and she came out there, and the results speak for themselves.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
How long ago did that happen?
It's recent. It's pretty recent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see if we can find that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a little pep talk. As a verse, like my mom or my dad would have went, I don't know, that sounds dangerous. Are you sure you want to do it? And then that would have been the end of their pep talk about something about money or danger.
But you were always running wild. You had a unicycle at one point. You're using your balance to its fullest potential. Every handrail was a victim.
Listen, man. The most shit I ever ate in that room is I had a trainer who became enamored with my weird balance. He was like,
he's
like, let's get on. Why don't we take that unicycle out to the courtyard? I go, okay. All right. Now I'm gonna take this medicine ball. I go, okay. He go, why don't you ride around? I'm gonna bounce you. I'm gonna throw you this medicine. See if you can catch the medicine. And then next thing you know, he's trying to knock me off of the unicycle with the medicine ball. Yeah. So he goes, that the yoga ball?
Yeah.
He goes, let's see if you can stand on a yoga ball. I go, okay. You got to take your shoes off. You got to go full sort of monkey boy.
Yes.
And you got to just put your feet on the side. You got to inch them up the side. You need a little squeak, 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 with your feet. You got bare feet.
Yeah.
And then once you get your feet under you, but not directly, you need a little width, but not so much width that you have to pinch, because your inner thigh will fall. You got to be on top of it, but not direct. You got to be little open leg.
Hip flexors engaged. Okay?
Yeah.
Toes fully prone.
Yeah. The two inside your feet. The inside of each foot's got to be about 10, 11 inches apart.
Exactly.
Too wide, you can't.
Over with.
Too close, no
Yep,
bounce.
spitting it out.
And you got your hands crouched down.
Of course.
And then you slowly just start kind of
So you go
straightening out.
from downward gargoyle up into up warrior's pose.
Warrior's pose, and then you stand there, and then he goes, "Well, see if you can catch this medicine ball." And I go, "Okay." And he underhands a little lob.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, maybe 15 pounds or something. Catch it, lob it back. 5 minutes later, he's firing it in my chest, and I'm firing back. I'm about bending my knees and bouncing on the ball, go whoop, pop, whoop, pop.
Mechanical advantage.
But one time he did it. And let me tell you, when you're on top of that medicine ball, when it's over, it's like spinning out that twin Porsche 935.
Yeah.
There is no notification.
Yeah.
In 1 minute, you're going great. Next minute, you're backwards, 120 miles an hour.
I'll be afraid the damn thing explodes. You know what I mean? I get like kind of a rack my nuts kind of situation. You know?
Yeah, the 935 or the yoga ball. Well, I'm telling you, when you're done with that, when you're off that yoga ball, your heads up is you're in the air heading back toward the ground. That's your heads up. There is no whoa. There's no whoa. It's just done. 1 minute you're on top, and you're on top of the world. Next minute it's gone.
Fail.
It's all gone. And that's the scary part about the yoga ball. But when you're on it, I was feeling good until I wasn't. But we have the coach.
Oh yeah.
Is he with Rose? That's not her. That's Rose Yamanouris.
Yeah,
right?
This is a different fight.
That's what I was going to say, because she's not Is she still fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, she is?
Did. Yeah.
But it wasn't her.
No.
That's what I So we know from looking at
all
pictures.
Right. You know what? I'll do better. Look, I'll do better. I won't do my best. I'll do your best.
All right. How long ago was this fight?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Was it like this year? Or?
Yeah.
This year.
Look, the whole...
Was it 6 months ago?
I'll send my clips to the producers in advance. It's my fault for even bringing it up, guys.
All right.
Well, I'll get it to you, Ace. Don't worry. I'm going to email you. I'm going to put it on my action item list. I'm going to circle back.
All right. So that was good. I didn't hang out with Natalia, but it was nice. She's Carolla. She got on her wakeboard.
But what'd you and the boy do?
Well, I thought about it, and I said I was going to go to the Beverly Hills Car Show, which we do on Rodeo Drive a lot, which I tried to take my dad to once many years ago. He said he'd go, and then that day he was like, he just doesn't like cars and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, but look, everyone, let me tell you something. Whether it's your kids or whether it's documentaries, stop trying to figure out what the theme is and then whether you'll participate or not. If you say, I've made documentaries. You watch documentaries to learn about shit you don't know about. So when a documentary comes out on Steve Martin, then I watch the Steve Martin one. And then when one comes out on Led Zeppelin, I watch the Led Zeppelin one.
I like memes, so I watch meme gods.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. What?
I'll bring it back to my docs.
You made that movie?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I'll bring it back to my docs. And then when Pee Wee Herman has a doc that comes out, I then watch the Pee Wee Herman doc. Okay. You watch docs to learn about shit you don't know about. That's why you watch docs. And I'll do it. Look, whatever the doc was 8 years ago, 20 Feet from Stardom, Black Chicks, Forgotten in the Shadows, backup singers, never got the credit they'll do. They were due. Nothing is further for me for personal interest. I like cars and balance. Okay, but I'm going to watch it so I can learn something about something. I tell some chick about any car doc, forget about my car doc, just any car doc, I'm out. I'm not interested. World War II, whatever. Not interested. Stop having a laundry list of shit you're interested. That's why you're dumb. By the way, that's why you don't know a whole bunch of shit. And by the way, when people say to me, well, how do you always know that reference or that thing or you heard of? I go, because I don't discriminate. If something's a doc, it's a good doc. Watch the doc. You should be watching the docs you know the least about more faster than the ones you're already interested in.
You spread out your mental energy over a wide net. That's
yes.
right. Okay.
And when it comes to shit with your kids, go do it. My dad's mistake is I liked car stuff, and so I'd go, hey, I'm going to go to the car show, or I'm going to go to the thing, or I'm going to go to Cars and Coffee. And he'd be like, well, I don't like cars. All right, well, then you don't get to hang out. And we have no memory of it.
I'm taking note, man, because I'm going outside my comfort zone.
Yes, and by the way, you don't have to like cars. That's the whole thing. You can go out, be with this other person, in this case your son, and experience things.
I'm getting back in the car. Oh.
I said, I was talking to my son. I said, well, we usually go to this car thing on Rodeo Drive, but my guy Bruce, he's got a place over there, and it has a little open house, a little wine and private collection stuff. He's not doing it this year. I'm not going to be back from Salt Lake City until like 1 o'clock. The thing closes at 4. I'm on the road. I said, it's my day, right? Yeah. So in terms of lunch, A, I can go to lunch anytime, and then B, lunch is, I just basically you're buying me lunch with the money I already give you guys. So what is you're just laundering at this point. You're not actually getting something. You know what I mean? So, look, when you're married, your 8-year-old kid buys you a gift. That's just your money going to them they come pick out socks, and fine. It's fine, but you're paying. Okay, so I said, listen, it's Dad's day, right? Because, yeah. Oh, well, here's what Dad wants to do. Dad wants to go to Home Depot, and I got stuff. I got a lot of stuff to get at Home Depot, and I'm not just talking about like an electric screwdriver. I'm talking about sheets of drywall and insulation. I need stuff. So, yeah, I said, we're shopping together. And I'll tell you, if you go to Home Depot and you're really getting your shop on, like you need 10 sheets of plywood and 5 sheets of drywall, big bundles of whatever, and a couple sacks of concrete and stuff like that, you need a Sherpa.
Yeah. You need a lumber cart pusher.
You need a lumber cart pusher. Also, when you go there with like a Squire, it's so much faster. Like you go out in the parking lot, get one of the big carts, and then head over to aisle 14. I'll be over there getting the drywall. And then you go, we did a 2-carter. Get a second cart. Then at some point you go, start pushing it toward the register, boy, and get in line. I'm going to go around.
Navy SEALs doing an extra.
That's right. Right. So I said to him, come over here. I said, meet me at the shop. We're going to sit down. I'm going to teach you how to build. I'm going to talk to you about this. And I walked around, and it's luckily Sonny is very inquisitive and has a sort of old mind. He wants to know, but why? But how come? But why? And I started explaining him layout, 24 on center, 16 on center, all divisible by 8 foot. What's 8 foot? Drywall, plywood. Everything has to be 8 foot. It's got to land half on the stud. That's why it's layout. Can't hang drywall and miss the stud, go past the stud by 3 inches or come short an inch. It's got to land half on center, half on. And then I walked him to this back thing I built. I went 24 on center. See how that is laid out. And then I told him, that's dimensional lumber. That's from a tree. That's a 2x6. This is a web joist or glue lam or paralam. This is the difference between, dimensional lumber is steak and a paralam is a hot dog. It's all different stuff, but it's formed into the shape.
But you hit him with this wide variety of, you know what I mean? Did you get into the specifics so that he could kind of visualize?
I said, now we're going to Home Depot, and I'm getting the dually. Fired up the big Ford F-350 dually, went to Home Depot, walked him down every aisle. Said, this is not a screw gun, or this is not a power drill. It's an impact gun. See, it's different. It's got a little chuck. Used my keyless chuck joke on him. Got a laugh out of it. Kept walking. That's a paddle bit. That's a Forstner bit. That's a concrete bit. That's a masonry bit. Over there, that's a steel bit. A twisty bit. Just kept walking. Random orbital sander. And he's like, random? I'm like, yeah, it's a random orbital sander. And he's like, how's that work? And I'm like, well, it's random in that if it just was a disc, it would gouge and dig and stuff. But it's very good, very smooth. Walked him. I got drywall screws. So I think this is a fine thread. This is coarse thread. This is a bugle head. Takes a number 2 tip. Just walked him through the whole place, laid it out. Pier blocks, drywall, R19 insulation. Not for 2x4. That's R13. R19.
What you trying to do? Build a baby Rick Russo?
Yeah. And so he was interested and he was engaged. And we walked up and down the aisle and I just pointed everything out. And I sort of went like, you want to get the good stuff. You get the Hitachi. Maybe you get the Milwaukee. Maybe you get the Bosch. You want the intermediate stuff. Maybe you get like the Delta stuff and then you get the cheap stuff. You get the Ryobi, and then here's the price difference. And it's like $90, $140, $210. I go, well, that's exactly what you get. That's exactly the difference, and that's how it works. And I just walked him through the whole place, filled it up, filled up the dually.
So did he buy you that randomizing belt sander?
It's a random orbital sander. Belt's just a belt.
Oh.
But I didn't buy anything. I got some nippers, some dikes, and diagonal cutters, dikes.
Got it.
And then I said, now we've done our work. We go to Giamella's, the sub place. We become sub buddies. And we're going to order sub. You're going to order sub, and then we're going to split the two. And then the guy did this. And you guys, tell me.
I'm listening.
Okay, if you're talking to someone, so I say, like the third or fourth time somebody says to you, huh? Find a new word. Find a new word.
Okay.
Yeah, so this guy, Giamella's, which is great, been there for a million years. They have an Italian sub, and they have a steak, kind of a Philly cheesesteak style, and they have a turkey, and they have a pastrami, and 2 others, or whatever. So Sonny's looking on the phone when we're driving to Giamella's. And I go, what do you want? He goes, well, I like the steak and onions one, pepper steak. Add the onions, grilled onions, add the provolone cheese. Let's get that. And he goes, I like the Italian. I go, okay. Well, why don't we get 1 Italian and 1 pepper steak, and then we'll split it. And he goes, okay. And we're driving there.
You're always wheeling and dealing with sandwiches, eh?
I do. And everything's a negotiation. And we're driving there, and it's going to close in like 20 minutes. And so I say, just get the pepper steak, get the Italian. He goes, okay. So the guy picks up the phone. He's like, hello. He's got a little accent, a little bit. And he's like, GMOs. And Sonny goes, hello. We'd like to order 2-foot-long sandwiches. And he goes, we're out of the pepper steak and coca. And me and him both say, because he's in the speaker, we go, you're out of the pepper steak. Yeah. And the coca. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're out of the pepper steak, and what's the other one you're out of?
The coca.
Coca. Me and Sonny are just looking at each other.
The coca.
Yeah, me and Sonny are looking at each other, and he goes, we go for like a 4th time. He goes, you're out of the pepper steak and coca? What's the second one again? Coca. Okay, let's just order a sandwich. I go, sorry. So he goes. So Sonny goes, all right. Well, no pepper steak. Then we'll take the pastrami, and then we'll take the Italian. And he goes, we're out of the no coca. So it's like, okay, but here's my whole thing with this guy. There's no sandwich that says cold cuts. It only says Italian. Now, if you mispronounce Italian, I'll know what you're talking about because it's represented on your menu.
Italian.
But if you just go cold cut, I don't know that you're saying cold cuts because you're not really saying cold cuts, but the sandwich isn't called a cold cut sandwich, it's called an Italian sandwich, in which case we have, but the fourth time we go, what? Then name the sandwich that's on the menu. You've changed the name of the sandwich on the menu to cold cut, which is, I understand what cold cuts are, but I can't understand the way you're pronouncing it, and we're asking for an Italian sandwich. So then he goes, we're out. You're out of Italian. No cold cut. So then I look at Sonny like, man, we're 0 for 2 because those were our 2 sandwiches. So we compromised. We got the pastrami, we got the turkey, came here. Watched some NBA highlights, enjoyed it, and really best Father's Day ever for me. But that was me getting, because I figured out Father's Day isn't you eating shit that you essentially pay for after money is laundered through a third party. It's you doing what the fuck you want to do that day. It's your day, right?
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Minus the coca.
And a vexing and bizarre airport odyssey for me. I know I have a lot of them, but this one's really weird. It's my fault for being excited. Now you've heard this before from me, but I want someone who's listening to help me figure this out somehow, some way. But the last time I went to Burbank Airport when I was going to the Pacific Northwest, flew out like on Alaskan, which is not the A terminal, it's like the B terminal, rolled in there, ghost town. Just rolled right through the place, just sped right through the place, turned to the left, jumped out on the B terminal, went into the Alaskan place. Ghost town, nobody in security, nothing, just zero. And then you announce this is the best airport ever because of this. But what you can't understand is airports are rhythmic, and sometimes they get really clusterfucky. LAX. Now, all I would like to know is in advance which airport are we going to? Ghost Town, Burbank? Or are we going to clusterfuck? And there's no apps, there's no video. There's the stupid camera on the Eagle's Nest, but no camera down at the end of all LAX and Burbank. Can everyone agree with it? Everyone flies out of LAX and Burbank. All you need is one little Ring doorbell down at the end of the first long run that goes in. They both have a long run that goes. Just a fucking Eagle chick cam right at the end, and you can just look on your phone and go, fuck, we better leave 15 minutes early. This thing is a fucking shit show, or it's a ghost town. But you'll never know till you get there. Now, you can go online and find out if the flight's on time, but you don't know. I've been to LAX where you pull in and all parking is gone. You have to go back out again and sit in traffic. It'll fuck you up, but it's so doable, doesn't exist. So anyway, last time I go there, I blow right through. So then I'm sitting here getting a little cocky on a Friday going, we don't have to leave early. That place is nothing going on there. And then I made a big mistake. I said, it's always Southwest, Vegas, Southwest, Phoenix, Southwest, and that's all the A terminal. And I go, well, you're flying Delta, and you got a first-class ticket on Delta. And I go, oh, Delta, that's the B terminal. I never fly Delta, but all right, that must be in the other terminal because Southwest takes up this whole one. So got Andrew over there. He's going to drop me off. We leave here a couple minutes late, but not really. We're all right. It's close, and it's always, it's always a ghost town over there. And then Andrew comes pulling in. It's a clusterfuck. All lanes are boxed up. Everyone's maneuvering. Oh, fuck. We are fucked up. The part where you start contemplating jumping out of the car and running with your luggage, which 100%. I've definitely done. So I'm contemplating, and I go, I don't know. I got a first-class ticket. I'm checked in. So till Andrew eventually sitting in traffic all the way, go around. I go, just drop me off at B. I'm at Delta. I'm on the other one. I'm not the Southwest one. And I go walking in, and it's Alaskan and whatever, Verizon or Horizon or Spirit or something. I'm looking around. I'm like, isn't Delta in this one? Like, no, Delta's in the Southwest side. And I'm like, oh, now I got the merch bag. It's got 49 pounds worth of books in the merch bag. I got my luggage, wheelie luggage, and I got my backpack. So I'm full Sherpa'd up, and I'm sweating now. And I start chugging because I'm going to go all the way down the hall and all around. I come around the corner, I see Southwest, and I'm like, that's Southwest. Where's Delta? And they're like, all the way at the end. That's the furthest one away. Okay, go chugging. Pull in. 2 chicks behind the counter. I would describe them as sort of thick looking. Like, when kids get the Down syndrome and they just have that thick look in their
thick with 3 C's.
Yes, yeah. And so the 2 thick chicks are there, and I go, okay, I got a first class ticket. Good, you need to know that. And I take the merch bag, which I already weighed here at 49 pounds, and I put it on the scale. And she goes, oh, you want to check this bag? And I go, yeah. And she goes, missed it by 6 minutes. And I go, ooh, but I got a first class ticket, right? So maybe we could just check it on right now? No, you missed it by 6 minutes. And I go, could you call your supervisor, somebody, make sure and tell him I got a first class ticket. And I go, okay. And she gets on the phone and she's like, yeah, he's got a first class ticket. Yeah, no, he missed by 6 minutes. The bag's pretty big. I'm like, okay, did you have to add that? Did you have to editorialize, bitch? Bitch, we're trying to get me and my bag on the flight. What your supervisor needs to know is it's 6 minutes late and I got a first class ticket and the bag's here. Not the size of the bag, but she adds a little, she editorializes. And she goes, the bag's a little pretty big. She goes, okay. Yeah, all right, thanks. And she hangs up, and then you're just staring for that body language, that it's about
towards you.
About a half a second of her just arms sliding down by the side, a little frown on the face, and it's like, oh, fuck, this isn't happening, right? So then I go, okay. So this is it's essentially a 2:00 flight. There's a 6:00 show in Salt Lake City. It's like a 2-hour flight, and it's a 1-hour time difference. It's later. So basically, I'm going to get there at 5 for a 6:00 show, which means I'm just going to hustle from the airport. I'm just going to Uber and change and go on stage. So she goes, we have a 3:30. I go, nah, can't. That's not going to work. Well, we can change your flight to the 3:30 flight and then you take your bag. I got, no, I can't do that. But I don't know where you guys are at. I never go, I have to perform or do stand-up or anything like that. I don't want to get into it. I just go, I have to be there at this time, which probably makes them think I'm bullshitting because they're like, whoever you're fucking having dinner with, just tell them you kick it back an hour or whatever. But the 3:30 flight's not going to work at all. So I go, okay, how about I'll just get on the flight and you put the bag on the 3:30 flight and I'll have someone from the club come get it. And they go, oh, we can't do that. You got to travel with your bag. And I'm like, how come every time there's a connecting flight and you got to run to get it and your bag's on the flight you're on, they'll go, we'll send the bag on the next flight. They do it all day, every day, but they can't do it. So then I go, all right, I got this bag. It's got 49 pounds worth of junk in it. You're not going to put it on a flight. I got to get on the flight. I don't have time to call somebody and have them come back and come get the bag. I'm not going to make the flight. So, all right, just give me my boarding pass. I know it's on the phone. My assistant checked me in 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, it's checked in, and it's on my phone, but I don't care. I like the hard pass. I'm the old man, So I go, well, as long as we're here, just print out my boarding pass. I'm going to take the bag. I can take it through security, right? They go, yeah, Dave, go ahead. But it's not going, you can't get it on the plane. So I go, all right, I'll take it with me. So I got the boarding pass, take my bags, all my bags, still sweating through my shirt, and I go walking through security. Throw the thing up on security. Guy's like, wow, it's a big bag. I'm like, don't worry about it. Go through. Get to very end. It's so funny because I thought Delta was close. It's not. It's past all the Southwest. It's all the way at the end. Get there. I got that sweat going where I got the sweat shirt, the sweat jacket. The sweat jacket is dry, but the T-shirt under it is sopping wet. Sopping wet. Chest and back flop.
It's a
kitty
special
sweat.
kind of hell.
It's a weird thing where you're dry. The jacket is dry,
Perfect.
but the T-shirt is soaking wet. I get in there. It's like, okay, you got 20 minutes for the flight. Okay. Now everyone's just crowded because it's at the very end. There's nowhere to go, and everyone's just piled up there. And now I look like an asshole. So I start feverishly taking apart the merch bag, and I start taking out books.
Yeah.
And I start stuffing them.
Yeah.
I stuff them in my backpack. I get like 11 books in my backpack, which is now 80 pounds and bursting at the seams, but I mash all of it there. Then I start pulling out clothes in my bag and I start mashing shit into my carry-on bag, right? My suitcase. And then at some point, now that the merch bag has like 32 books in it. And remember, the merch bag was thrown out a year ago, and then I went and fished it out of the garbage and patched it up. But it's been told it's got to go for a long time, and I've been hanging on to it. But I thought to myself, this is the time to deep six the merch bag. If the merch bag gods were ever going to speak louder, it would not be today. This is it. This is God. I'm leaving this bag.
All right.
And it's a handful of books. You know, I've written enough books. I got enough books. So I'm mashing as much stuff as I can mash into my bag. And the place is crowded. I'm sweating bad. And everyone's kind of looking at me like, what's he doing with this big bag, taking everything out? And by the way, every book has my big face on it. You know what I mean? So I look like an asshole. And then at some point, some guy sitting behind me with his wife, he goes, hey, Carolla, you should run for governor. And then I go, you know what? You just earned yourself 2 free books. You and your wife. There you go. There you go. There you go. Anyone else need a book? Which is kind of looking at me. I said to the guy, you on this flight? Because I'll give you 10 free books, and then you can get back to me once we land. And he's like, no, I'm not on this flight. I'm like, okay, well, here's your books. Here's your books. So I start packing everything up. And the merch bag now has like 10 books left in it, and it's big. And the place is super crowded, and everyone's been looking at me. So I like zip it up, and I put it behind me like casually, like I'm walking to the gate, and then I'll just kind of stop with it at some point, just kind of leave it, and I'll just keep walking.
No,
no. So I come pulling up to the gate. As soon as I walk up, they go, "Is that your bag back there?"
Exactly.
I go, "Yeah," but I'm abandoning it. They won't check it. I couldn't get on the flight, so it's gone. It's gone. They go, "Okay." And they go. Someone goes and gets like a Post-it and just writes trash on it. Just sets it on the thing, right? So I go.
It's a terrorist take note.
Yeah.
Insult to injury.
I know. Trash. My New York Times bestseller. So I go, okay. So then I go, anyway. By the way, I fly coach most everywhere. It's always Southwest coach, Southwest coach, Southwest. But I'm on the way there. I'm like, first class Delta. First class Delta. What kind of cocktail am I going to pick out for this flight? I get there. She looks at my ticket. She goes, oh, you checked out of this flight. And I go, huh? She goes, you checked out of first. I said, oh, no, I checked in. Well, first off, my assistant checked in 2 hours ago, and then I got my boarding pass at the gate, the Delta, terminal when I came in. Well, you checked out of. When did you check out? I go. I never checked out. I checked in to the flight which I booked 3 months ago, and then I got my checked in again when they told me I couldn't carry my bag, and then here we are. Well, you checked. It says here you checked out of first class, and then we gave your seat away. We upgraded you, but we have a seat for you in coach. And I go, oh, that's all I did was talk about first class the entire week. Oh, you have a seat for me in coach? Yeah. Got this backpack that's like 21 inches tall now. Like there's no way that's fitting under the seat in front of me. And my bag. But by the way, every human being's on the plane. The plane's full, 100% full, except for the one seat and coach. And there's just me and my 80-pound bags that are way overstuffed. And everyone's waiting. They're waiting for me now. So I go, well, what is going on? I didn't check off. I didn't check off of this flight. I checked into this flight, and I got a first-class seat. And they go, well, don't worry. We got a seat and coach, and we'll just refund you the difference. And I go, I want to fly in first class. And they go, she goes, well, we gave that seat away. I go, okay. And now you guys tell me, I don't know, policy-wise. Tell me policy-wise. I booked my seat 3 months ago as a first-class seat. The person who's currently in my first-class seat got upgraded 15 to 20 minutes ago. They had a coach seat. They came up, and they asked, is there anything open? And they said, there is one, and that guy uses Sky Miles or something and is now in my seat. That person was driving to the airport with a coach ticket. I drove to the airport with a first-class ticket. So I said, you should tell that person that you guys made a mistake and they should go to coach where they were going to sit
just
and then
bumping people.
Give me my seat back.
Yeah.
And they go, whoa, we can't do that. It's like, wait a minute, why can't you? Why? So it's out of the question that you tell that person they can't fly first class, but it's all on the table about me flying first class, even though you guys fucked up. And I did this 3 months ago and they did it 20 minutes ago. They got the seat.
You got luxury
so
problems.
I go, okay.
That sucks.
Fucking goddamn it. Now it's like, and we got to rebook you in this seat. It's not like take your first class ticket and just go sit back. You need to totally be.
The first lady got you? She did you dirty over the whole, did you kind of besmirch this lady?
The two ladies behind the counter?
Yeah, what happened? You broke up their lunch date.
I didn't.
And then they're mad at you, and then you did the whole hokey pokey, take the books out with the big bag. I would have just dragged it to the front door and went, here's my bag.
Yeah, I should have. They weren't gate checking anything, but I should have, but I forgot. It was insane. But anyway,
wait, how did you get checked out of it? That's the whole part I don't understand. Why did they check you out? I didn't even know that was a term at the airport. Checking out?
She checked me out. She somehow, when my bag wasn't going to make it, she checked me out, except for I told her to print my boarding pass for first class, which she did, and we left, and then she somehow checked me out. Now, what I've realized, and you guys tell me if you've experienced this a lot, I've said this a million times. There's a lot of people who really aren't supposed to work, not with the public. Like in the past, they would have been like hooked up to some wheel, like a donkey or an ox, and just walking in a circle barefoot in mud, like mashing.
That's how Arnold got jacked, I believe.
Yeah, some sort of mill or something where they mashed roots or something, and they didn't talk, and they'd have their forefathers. The ladies in their family were hooked up to some sort of medieval mill.
Yeah,
like I said,
as a miller, I identify.
Yes, because the buffalo or the bison were too valuable to waste in this. And her ancestors were just fat, barefoot bitches who just walked in a circle with something that like pumped water out of something or was some grist mill or something like that. And now they're behind the counter at Delta because we don't know what to do with them because there's no more mill. They just stand there. They have to get it. And it's not the kind of thing where like their husbands are successful lawyers and so they'd be at home, raising the kids with the nanny. They're forced to work. So we put them in jobs that are sort of like, well, look, you're not going to be the fucking airline pilot. That's for sure, bitch. And we're not going to do it. Well, just stand there. Just stand there. You know what I mean? And by the way, just stand there and kind of tell people no and then be dopey. You know what I mean? Like that's your job. And they're both just sort of slack-jawed, sort of thick chicks just standing there just going, it's 6 minutes past the time of the bag of the check. So, and then you go, well, I got to get on this flight. And they'll go, well, you want to get on another flight? No, I have to be on this flight. Oh, okay. So it's too late for the bag to be. Yeah, yes. It's person who was walking in a circle barefoot in mud in medieval times, just with the fucking yoke over their fucking broad shoulders. That's what you're supposed to be doing, but instead you're helping me, except for you can't do it so then I go in, so I'm in, and the one chick, she's at the gate. She's like, all right, well, we got to get you booked and rebooked. Since you unbooked yourself, I never unbooked. I booked in 2 hours ago. I never booked out. Why would I do that? Why would I unbook? I didn't unbook. Well, it says here. So he's doing this thing. So I'm standing there, still got the sweatshirt, and I stand at the chick next to me, and I go, she's a Delta chick. I go, listen, what is the policy? I had a first-class ticket. You guys screwed something up. You didn't let my bag on. By the way, the bag, we've been here for 20 minutes now. The bag could have gone on the flight, but you didn't do it. And now I got to go sit and coach. And she just goes, I'm a trainee, which I now think I should just answer for everything all the time. Anytime anyone asks you a question, just go, you're a trainee. Then there's a woman who's upper management Asian type. And she's wearing her Delta pin and everything. And she sits down. And then I go sit next to her and I go, look, I had a first-class seat. They kicked me out of the first-class seat. They put me in coach. I gave that other guy a seat. I think they should pull that guy out of his seat and put him in coach and put me back in the first. And she goes, oh, yeah. Well, why'd you check out? I go, no, I didn't check out. You guys made a mistake. I have a first-class seat. Why not just go tell that guy to go back into coach and I'll take my seat back? That's my seat. You had a first-class seat?
Oh,
okay, yes, I had.
No.
I go, what would you do? At a certain point, I become enamored with people's fucking stupidity. I just go, what would you do if that was your seat? Like, how would this work? It was in first class? Yes, yeah, I had a first-class seat. Which seat was it? Okay, does it matter what seat it was? 1B. 1B. Okay, there you go. Now what? And from first? You had first class? Yeah. I'm just saying, what do you think? What do you think is fair? What do you think is fair? Do you think it's fair that someone's in my seat and I didn't fuck up and you guys did? Do you think that's fair? What would you do? What if that was you? I don't know. No, I mean, seriously, what don't you think I should get my seat? I don't know. People are they're like rock dumb now, and I realize we're living in a world where we took super dumb chicks and we just no, hold on. I want to be fair. Dumb and angry women and shove them into this place where we all have to interface with them, and they don't even know how to talk. Like, they'll go, yeah, I know it's a bummer. It's happened to me before. I'm sorry. If it was up to me, you'd get the bag on, but this is how we roll. So I'm sorry, man. But, if there's anything we can, they just go, and then, like, you're talking to the gay chick, like, you're looking for an ounce of humanity or something. I go, look, we got to rebook you. Don't worry, you'll get your waiver thing.
See, I fight autism with autism. I'll just go over there to the gate with the big old bag and be like, yeah, it'll fit. It'll fit in the overhead. I swear, I've done it before. Until they snatch it from me and put it under the plane.
Yeah, I should have done that. I packed it. I would have been okay in my first class seat, but anyway, I went and sat down. Thank God.
Just stare daggers at that dude who was in your seat the whole time? Maybe give him a quick little jab as you're walking by?
Well, that guy had nothing to do with it. That guy got upgraded because they told him there was an open seat in first class, and he used the Sky Miles to upgrade, or it cost him $80, and he went for it. Yeah, but I will tell you this, man, and I don't think people really fully get it, but I flew back Delta Salt Lake City, right? And everyone there was like, hey, how y'all doing? Good. All right. Need any help? Good. Good for you. Safe flight. Have a good time. Every human being, every point of contact, Delta Salt Lake was a completely different experience because they don't have the dumb fucking inbred retards we have here.
Indoctrinated by the Mormon culture
or
to
something,
be happy
whatever.
and friendly
Just
to everybody.
Fucking friendly, blue-eyed, friendly soul over there. And over here's like some sort of weird mixed breed of
we got trouble in L.A. Yeah, we're over it.
I mean,
Ground
she probably thought I
sloths.
was an ICE official or something, but
Exactly.
they're all just like a weird. And look, everyone goes, well, why is it taking a turn for the racial? Well, it's first off, there's a little bit of a language thing. There's also like kind of cultural stuff.
Z?
There's just stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's not all quite the same, is what I'm saying. But the Delta folks at Salt Lake are like fucking helpful and Johnny on the spot. And here it's just a bunch of dead-eyed, slack-jawed women. All of them just like, whoa, what seat? Which seat?
Army of the Dead.
You know what I like when dumb people do?
All right.
Dumb people have a technique where they're like, I'm really dumb. I'm not really listening. But I'm going to see if I can buy myself like 12 seconds by asking something really fucking stupid that doesn't pertain to this. Which seat? That was my favorite one.
Man, you ever see some basketball highlights?
Mm-hmm. Talking about WNBA?
Oh, sorry.
All right. You got the news?
Yeah, I was just buying myself 12 seconds before I read it.
By the way, I got a new series on Substack that you guys can check out. I think, well, what are we calling it? I'm fixing cabinets is basically what I'm fixing my own cabinets. It's got some, it's at the shop.
Cabinet.
Basically. Nah, it's everything at the shop. So
Sick.
I troubleshoot a whole bunch of doors and drawers and stuff. You guys can watch it. I think you'll like it. I think if you like the vlog stuff, you'll like this stuff. And you can go to Substack, although I can't see the bottom line, Andrew, because you have to put a piece of tape on your monitor that does a thing where if it goes under that piece of tape, then I can't see it. But you don't want to put that piece of tape on there, but you don't. Yeah.
Modern solution.
Substack is where you go. Yeah. It's a thing. It's a TV thing. All right. Take a break. We come back. We do the news right after this.
It's a beat from Beat It Out with Jay Moore and Adam Carolla.
If you were a dwarf, would you ever get out of the race car bed? Or would you just keep that your
never.
whole life? Bury me in this bed, I would yell.
Yeah, I would have a race car bed casket.
Yeah. That bed, plenty enough for you, and you always look cool.
Beat It Out with Adam Carolla and Jay Moore. Subscribe to the show at adamcarolla.com/Substack. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Was a race car bed a thing of your youth?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted one. I don't even think I got one ever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
No
It was just
way.
a distant dream and something at the rich kid's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was one in a window at a bed place in Santa Monica that if we ever visited my Uncle Vince, and then Greg Bruno, when we drive home, I could look through the window of my dad's VW Bug and see it. And I would just imagine, like, who?
I think I had a secondhand one.
Really?
I just unlocked the memory, Ace.
Really? You bought like a crashed one?
No, like
One with high mileage? Rusted out?
Hey, the frame was solid, all right? We just replaced that quarter panel. It was good.
Should have got the rust proven. I tell you, get the warranty. You wouldn't listen. All right, what's going on in the
All
news?
right, in the world of entertainment, Bill Maher torched Sean Penn for criticizing his meeting with President Trump, hitting back at this Fast Time at Ridgemont High's actor who sat down with Fidel Castro and Hugo Chavez before. Check it out.
I have not been invited. The only reason I would not accept an invitation is because I see no. It's a long flight, and I see no.
Really? You'll meet with fucking
I don't think that I
Castro
would-
and Hugo Chavez, but not the President of the United States?
Yeah, I saw good results come out of some of those things in terms of agendas
realize the
that I had. I don't think that there's anything that I would. I just personally
know.
wouldn't trust anything that was said in the room.
Okay.
He is Sam.
Yeah, the thing about, look, I've interviewed Sean. There's something going on, and I don't know exactly what the wiring is, but Sean's a cool guy, and he's a smart guy, and he's an interesting guy, and I had a nice conversation with him, and there's a thing. It's kind of it's too simple just to call it a hippie thing. But it's like him and Jane Fonda and all those people. The first thing that they do is they kind of they take someone like George Floyd and they make him into a hero, and they take Hugo Chavez and they make him into a hero. They take Che Guevara and they make him into a hero.
Lionize.
And then they take Ronald Reagan and they turn him into a criminal, like a war criminal and all that kind of stuff. And okay, here's first off, there are a lot of shades of gray, but here's the thing. Ronald Reagan maybe has done things you disagree with and I disagree with, but Fidel Castro's fucking horrible and he's a tyrannical dictator and he killed a lot of people and he's a piece of shit. So first things first, in a world where nobody bats 1,000, I'll take the guy who bats 377 versus the one who bats 26. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're just exalting the virtues of the 26 guy. And I know who these people are. They pick these weird characters and then they sort of turn them into deities. And everybody, look, Nelson Mandela, if you do a deep dive into Nelson Mandela, you're going to find a bunch of shit you'll never hear anywhere, or you'll never hear that Martin Luther King had a lot of side pussy. You know, like it's just stuff.
A lot
People.
of nuance.
Everything is nuance. So
even Gandhi.
Oh, right. Overall, I will live. Would you rather live in a country where Ronald Reagan was your president or where Fidel Castro was your president? Okay. Or Hugo Chavez. Like, that's all I'm fucking saying, people. That's all I'm saying. And you can go, I don't want to live in either. No. It's either this. It's either Ronald Reagan or it's Donald Trump or it's whoever you didn't like in the past, one of the W. Bush or something, or Fidel Castro. There's your choice. What would you do, Sean? What would you like? I think if you gave him 2 beers, he would go with Reagan. But there's something that they have to do, which is they have to push back. And so part of the pushing back, it's kind of hippie thing. I got it. I understood it from my mom and my family, my grandmother and stuff like that. My grandmother was out basically marching for communism, in the 30s or something. And it's like, it's the same people that are out there pushing Palestinian and Hamas. Like, you do understand that if you're gay over there, you get thrown off a fucking building, right? Okay. Well, what about what we have to deal with here? I don't know what you have to deal with here, but it's not getting thrown off a fucking building. All right? So that's your side. So then what's going on? Communism. Oh, I love communism. You do? Do you really? Is that how you want to live? You know how many millions of people die in those kind of regimes and how miserable life is for those people?
I love standing in the bread line.
Right. And all you do is talk about freedom and oppression and freedom. Well, guess what there's less of over there? What you claim to want. So what are we really talking about here? And what we're talking about here is you're just sort of counter whatever is. Whatever your dad liked, we'll just do the opposite. And they don't really realize what they're doing. So, and it's 2 parts. They go, well, what are we going to do? Well, you have to hate Ronald Reagan. Okay, done. But what else? Well, you could like Fidel Castro. Okay, good. Now good. Because all I'm doing is rebelling. I'm literally just rebelling. I'm just doing whatever it is, doesn't make sense. You don't want me to do it. Now, I don't even know I'm doing it. So Bill Maher knows you're doing it, and he wants to know why you're meeting with these tyrannical leaders and you wouldn't have lunch with Trump, and you don't really have a good answer. But you don't know what you're doing, and you go to the grave. I mean, half these people I see out protesting are 65 plus. There's like 74-year-old woman. I saw a 74-year-old woman just going, I don't want to have to live with this and this over my head. It's like, bitch, nothing's going on. You're fucking 74-year-old white chick. Shut the fuck up and go knit a fucking shawl. Sorry. Go ahead.
Next up, let's lighten the mood a little bit. New Jersey high school forced to cancel full day of classes after over-the-top senior prank. Say it went too far. I feel like this is good, clean fun.
What was
Nothing
the senior
stolen.
What
they did was grab everything out of the classrooms, duct tape it, and sort of
Wrap it.
wrap it in a sort of
Cellophane.
homunculus.
Homunculus?
Of a giant. You know
How
what I mean?
funcular of you.
Yeah.
With your homunculi.
So, they went buck wild and put everything back. They're investigating. They're searching for the culprits.
Are they
now.
doing? I don't think my kids did a class prank. Did you do a class prank?
Yeah. The fountain full of bubbles. Everybody was splashing bubbles in everyone's face. It was a good one.
We did a few weird ones. Somebody would inevitably, there was some good stuff. Somebody pulled the Bob's Big Boy guy out of the ground and put it right in the quad. That was pretty cool.
That is
right?
cool. That's expert
That
level.
was solid. Another solid one is they went and got the cow from the 4-H whatever and walked it into Mr. Space and put it in Mr. Space's office. That was good. Then I planned my senior prank to be a little more interactive because the thing is everybody shows up Friday and sees the prank from the night before. But I was like, what if they experience the prank when it's happening? Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
okay.
I got my little militia group together in my house because I lived in the garage basically across the street from the school.
Yeah.
And I said, now what if we fill up like 150 water balloons at my house and then we put them in big garbage bags and we stash them around, like about in the shrubs and stuff, just push it back there. We'll do that tonight. And then tomorrow at lunch, when everyone gathers into the quad, we'll all kind of zip our jackets on and put like ski masks on, and everyone go load up on water balloons, and then we'll fire on everybody in the quad, and then we will make our escape to my house. Because once you go over the fence, I'm just across the street. So everyone planned it out. We had the signal and everything, and we went at it, and everyone got their water balloons and started firing on everyone, and everyone starts girls are sitting there eating their sandwich on the bench and stuff, getting hit in the back of the head with the water balloon, and everyone's getting it nailed by the water balloons, and then when everyone's out, we all have to bid a hasty retreat, like through this long hall, sort of outdoor area, and then over the top of the fence, and it worked good, except for my one friend, John, got to the fence, got about halfway up, and about 10 black dudes just grabbed him and pulled him back down.
What?
It was like beat on him.
It was so wholesome into that.
I know, until they turned on him.
What, they just beat the shit out of him for water balloon crimes?
Well, to be fair, the place, this was pre-sort of terrorist attack, but it was a bunch of dudes in ski masks throwing stuff, and people started screaming and stuff because they didn't really know what was going on. They thought they were under some kind of attack. And so John got it, but he didn't squeal. And, it was always the scuttlebutt was everyone knew it was me and us and whatever, but no one could prove anything because they didn't have, but you didn't have the film and cameras and stuff back then.
Yeah.
So no. Now my friend, another friend who decided to shit in a 5-gallon bucket.
I knew it was going there.
I know,
Ace.
for like
You're
a
always
week.
grossing me out with that one.
And he went out. They were a senior. I wasn't even a senior. He desecrated the whole school with his poop. It was maniacal. And they found out it was him. And he was bound for Berkeley.
Yeah, DNA testing.
And they were like, I don't think so.
Oh, really?
They were like, something's wrong with your
Scatological.
Yeah, something's wrong. And it was a big to-do. And eventually ended up going there after he had to clean up all his sort of helter-skelter written poop, everywhere. Like, I got where he was coming from.
A shit smearer is a Berkeley graduate? Can't believe it.
Oh, yes. 100%. But that was a year older than me.
All right.
So, I don't know. Did you do one, Dawson?
We did not. We were really frightened off of it because 2 years before I graduated, the senior prank was putting raw fish in the new air conditioning ducts.
Damn.
And they did major damage. I mean,
Yeah.
like $30,000 worth of damage. And so everyone was like, we're not doing shit.
Yeah, also, if you are going to college, they can hold back transcripts. They can get you into trouble. We weren't going anywhere, so you couldn't couldn't do anything to us. We were leaving.
Low risk, high reward.
Carolla, you think you're gonna be digging ditches on a construction site? I don't think so. Not after this stunt. So we all went for it.
I think what they actually did was fish fertilizer. It wasn't actually fish.
There were some other ones around the country that got crazy. Like, there was a bunch of guys brawling in the tri-state area, Jones Beach State Bargain up there in Jersey. But in Malibu, they did pandemonium by supergluing classroom doors shut, driving golf carts down staircases, causing tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage.
Malibu, man.
And now Malibu's back at it again.
That's where Sean Penn lives.
Yep.
All right, what else?
Next up, we got this Riverside No Kings protester struck in a felony hit and run, and the suspect is still at large. But we got some crazy video from him.
All right, so it's down. It says downtown. It says downtown Los Angeles, but it's Long Beach. I don't know. I kept trying to find this story and I couldn't figure. Anyway, cars driving.
I've seen two different videos.
The No Kings thing. They're pushing on the.
Yeah.
There's different. Okay, there's different vids. There's different vids.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's another one. There's another vid, Dawson or Andrew, in there where it's like a red SUV and it's from behind.
A
And it's at
black,
night.
I think, right?
Oh, maybe it's black or red SUV behind at night. Does the same thing.
There's a lot of people fucking around and finding out.
Well, okay, you're driving. You may be driving with your kids. I don't know, or maybe just be alone. But good, if I got, my 4-year-old twins in the back seat, I'm not fucking getting out of the car and trying to talk it out with the young folk. And then my thing is like, I will stop and I will sort of try to be courteous and whatever. But if you're going to jump up and start smacking the side of my car and whacking it with a skateboard or something, then here's what I'm saying. If I'm holding a gun and you're in front of me, I don't want to shoot you. But if you're going to get aggressive, I'm not going to put the gun away because I'm holding a gun. And now listen to me, everyone. A car is 5,000 pounds and 200 horsepower, and a crazy, nervous, freaked out mom with a foot that all she has to do is depress the right side of it 7/8 of an inch, and you're getting run over. So I don't know what you think you're doing. If the mom was... This is it. If the mom was holding a gun, would you be smacking her fucking in the forehead, or would you step back? It's a car. And by the way, if you want to kill 13 people, just go plow into a farmer's market with your car. You'd kill more than you could with a Glock. All right, here it is. Sorry. This is Long Beach Road. They're throwing shit at the car. They're punching
throwing
the car.
shit at the car, kicking it, and this guy just swerved out of the way and crushed somebody, apparently.
Yeah, good. All right. But here's the
Oh, there it is.
Good.
Okay,
here's the thing, everyone. The person driving the car doesn't even necessarily disagree with you. They're just going home or coming from work. They turned down the wrong street. Then they saw you, and then they stopped, and they didn't yell, "This is MAGA country, bitch." They just stopped their car, and then you started beating on the car, and then you gathered around the car. Now, I do not know what you're expecting out of the mom in the car, but expect at some point, I'm not going to put the gun down in between us and flip a coin. If I'm holding it, you're going to get shot. If you'd like to walk away, then you're not going to get shot. If you want to pick up a sprinkler key and come charging at me, then you will get shot. But that'll be your decision.
But safe spaces and octagons in Florida, you'd be scot-free, I believe.
I think
Not a lawyer.
I think everybody who's in a car who's being surrounded by a mob, especially if they're beating on the car, is scot-free. I don't think there's a court in the land that will convict these people if you're surrounded by an angry mob. Now, You add the mom part, the female part, or kid in the car, whatever, you're fucking gone. You're gone for free.
Totally.
You know, with your mixed martial arts background.
Listen here, man. The mob will get you. I found out the hard way with the Diaz boys one time. Yeah, they'll get you. You know, you gotta no.
What happened with the Diaz boys?
I was trying to get a rematch. The guy, they told me to go in there, and I went in there, and then his whole team jumped me. It was a famous thing. Yeah,
Trying to get with Nate or which Diaz?
I fought Nick. I fought Nate. I fought Jake Shields. I fought everybody at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Still alive.
Who was now? Who were you trying to get the rematch with?
Me and Shields never had a rematch. And he saw me off the microphone. Was like, "Oh, you want your rematch?" And I was like, "Yeah, give me my rematch, buddy." And pandemonium. In other news, Prince William's billionaire pal Sanjay Kapoor dead at 53, swallowing a bee during a polo match.
Oh, now is it? Are you allergic to bees?
Well,
or
it
is it because
actually
you swallowed
triggered
a bee?
a heart attack. The billionaire businessman and chairman of global car parts giant Sona Comstar collapsed during a polo match in England on Thursday.
When I was in Florida, it's kind of crazy. I was in Florida doing shows, I don't know, a month and a half ago. And when I was done, there was a really nice lady, and she just came up to me. She was waiting in line, get a book, get a picture. And she just goes, you know, I had a husband of 25 years. We were great. I don't know, sweethearts from college or whatever. 5 years ago, he got stung by a bee, just died. Just boom. Just like one day, good health. Next day, whoosh,
Allergic.
gone.
Too bad.
I don't know what he was, but he just got stung by a bee, gone. And she said, it's been 5 years. Your podcast got me through it. I listened to it, and I don't think I could have done it without you. And I said, the book's $20. I can sign a titty if you like. And she was real sweet. And I just thought how fast that could happen. Just boom, this soulmate, boom, gone. Just got stung, pow.
Yeah.
Bees do a fair bit of that, I think. Bees do, I'll bet you, now you got to look it up, Andrew. In the United States, bees kill more people than rattlesnakes.
Oh, yeah.
Kill more people than any kind of commercial airliner situation. Sharks. Bees must kill more people than sharks.
Bears, definitely.
Bears. I know a lot of people, women especially, who will not go into the ocean because of sharks, but will happily go outdoors where the bees are all day, every day.
On account of the period blood.
That's a good, I never thought about
Sharks
that
can
angle.
smell about 3 miles away.
That's what happened to that chicken Jaws at the beginning. So sad, weird. I don't know if it's he's allergic or he swallowed it or what the cause was.
It caused a heart attack. That's what the Mirror is reporting. Just hours before his death, the Indian-born businessman who had studied in the UK paid tribute to the victims of Thursday's Air India plane crash that claims the lives of 241 people.
That it is kind of weird. I know you like to put a little tinfoil hat on every once in a while.
I do.
Remember, there was that guy who worked for Boeing or something, and then he kept saying, if they find me dead, and at some point he killed himself in his car or whatever, and he was a whistleblower, and
Yeah, like he was getting ready to testify, and then suddenly he just had a change of heart and hung himself in his car.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of... Yeah, I mean, what percentage? Okay.
You're saying that someone shot this bee in this man's mouth to silence him?
No, I don't know. Sam Tripoli said, I don't know. I feel,
This is a psyop?
I'm trying to think, is it better to have a drawn out illness and be able to sort of make your peace with your family, or is it better to just be literally on a pony horse with a mallet and just
or just bounce
gone
out the 58th floor? Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Which one do you say? A slow, inevitable death where you're just hugged, surrounded by your family and
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. One death every 2 years with the sharks out here. I will say this, 72 deaths in the U.S. attributed to bee stings.
Oh.
Yeah, they got them beat. I would say, look, if somebody said, look, you want a nice, slow 6-month death, I would go, yeah, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time with my kids, and I'm not going to necessarily spend time holding hands. We're going to the Home Depot. Like, I'm imparting some. I will take my son and my daughter and go, listen to me. Listen to me. Let me tell you what I know. Like, I'm just going to give it all to you. And we're going to make arrangements for whatever gets what and stuff. Yeah, I'd probably take that. All right. Noah Tisby is going to come by. She's that really attractive actress, but also sort of a spokesperson. She'll get us all caught up on all that's going on in the Middle East and Israel and all that. And we'll do that right after this. In the studio.
Definitely a Jew.
Definitely a Jew.
Definitely a Jew.
Noah's an actress, grew up or born in Tel Aviv, did 2.5 years in the Israeli Defense Forces, which is, we find that very sexy out here when we hear about all the beautiful Israeli women toting the guns and doing it. Listen, I'm such a fan. I want every young person here to like go through the Peace Corps, the Job Corps, whatever. Just spend a year working, learn how to handle tools, learn how to handle a rifle, just learn what that is to live off the land a little or push yourself or whatever. I'm such a fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just shove them all into some crappy Ivy League school and they get their brains bent into pretzels.
Yeah, I just think that at 18, it's very important that you do something for society at large and do something that isn't just about yourself. Look, sadly, Israel as a country needs the Israeli military, and we are seeing this now more than in the last few years. But even just as a personality thing, like something that changes who you are, it's an important thing. And I would love for us to have national service here or something that you come off high school and you're like, all right, now you're doing something for everybody else, not just for yourself, not just getting drunk at college.
Well, yeah, you know, it's funny. When I went to it, I always take notes of these things because we used to kind of know what we were doing. Like, we were not pie in the sky. Not everyone was precious. Not everyone deserved world-class health care and a world-class education. Like I would like everyone to have world-class health care and a world-class education, but they knew back in a certain point it didn't work that way and we couldn't do that. And so it's like lots of people I know who have older parents or older people with parents. Like my dad, when he was 14, they went, "You're going to trade school. You're not going to college. But you need to learn something.
Right.
You need." They'd pull you off and just go, "Look, you're no scholar. You're not going to college. You're going to have to learn to do something so you can make a living and contribute and pay taxes so you can live." And they just shove you into a trade school and they go, "Oh, that's so cruel." But it's not. Like they had a plan. They were pragmatic. When I went to Red Rocks, the giant amphitheater in Colorado, I went up there and I was reading all about the history of it. It was built by a bunch of like runaway delinquent boys who got put in a camp, and they went, "Look, nobody wants you. You're 15 years old. You can work here. We'll give you $1 a day. You know, you live here, and we're going to dig this canyon out." And that's what they did.
Yeah.
But they were like pragmatic.
They were pragmatic. Look, and when you think of how Israel was formed or how the United States was formed, it's a bunch of radicals that came together and decided to create something out of nothing, basically. Not that there weren't people here or in Israel. They were. But, and it was a different generation. I think that ship has sailed. I think social media changed us in a way that doesn't allow for that anymore because there's FOMO and envy and brainwashed when in your silos, whatever your silo is, you believe that is the absolute true. And, you know, this is the greatest generation is not what we have right now. And I believe that what we need to do is make sure that at least we give them some sort of a normal, future. Otherwise, we're screwed. And I think what's happening right now in the Middle East is a realignment of everything that would actually make the world eventually better.
Well, I'm not in the weeds like you are, and I hear different stories from different folks about, Benjamin Netanyahu, that guy's no angel, he does blah, 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 and he forces this, and everyone makes a story, and you kind of go, Yeah, okay. Like, okay, that doesn't sound great or something, or I disagree with that, which it's, when you run a nation, there's going to be a lot of, well, this guy gave money to a known terrorist group just to get a couple of people let out of custody or something, and there's a lot of that.
Look,
there's
a country cannot
but,
pass a purity test.
No,
country.
they can't pass.
Or leader. Nobody can.
Yeah, right. So that's all we talk here.
Yeah.
We the people and the indigenous people, and then Jim Crow and slavery. It's like, okay, get it. It's unpassable because it's sort of like a giant company with a long history. It's like, yes, they didn't comply with every EPA, whatever. Yes, they used to dump stuff into the river, and yes, they didn't pay high enough wages. But they still have a
right to exist as a company, which is what we're talking about when it comes to Israel. That people are like, they might have problem with Bibi, which is totally legit to have a problem with a leader of a country. But what we're dealing with right now is people that are literally calling for the dismantle of a democratic
what
state.
I'm kind of saying is, look, Henry Ford was anti-Semitic, as long as we're on it. But are you glad Ford exists? Are you happy there's a Ford? Do you know anyone who drives a Ford? Overall, is Ford hurting this country? Are they paying taxes? Are they creating jobs?
That's
and I go,
yes,
I'm happy Ford is here. Yeah. Yes, I am. Well, what about the anti-Semitic? Yeah, okay. Not gonna make a case for him. I will say I'm glad there's Ford.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Not part of the problem.
Yeah,
I don't walk around every day going, what are we going to do about Ford? Mm-hmm. Well, he was anti-Semitic. He also built Willow Run, which made bombers for World War II. Mm-hmm. And then Charles Lindbergh, who was also an anti-Semite, flew those planes so they could liberate Europe.
Yeah.
So
the problem is that anti-Semitism, what we thought it was over. We thought, all right, they were anti-Semitic. They also did great things, and now anti-Semitism is not a thing anymore. So for about a few decades there, anti-Semitism went out of style, and it was just not cool to be anti-Semitic. The problem with what's happening right now is that it's very cool to be anti-Semitic today. So it's a whole new form of anti-Semites that are out there, and what we need to do is just make sure that they go back in the closet where they belong.
Well, what I'm starting to really drill down on is just sort of envy and success and the groups that are envious and successful. And the Jews are successful as a nation and as a group and always have been. And I've always understood it. And it's basically family and education, which everyone always argues about. Look, it's pretty much like this. Somebody sent me this tweet the other day. So basically, blacks doing the worst in terms of dads at home. I don't know, 68%, no dads at home. Second worst, Hispanic, like 45%. Third worst, white at like 24%, and the best Asian at like 12%. Now, if you just take that chart and you invert it, then you'll see who makes the most money and who's the most successful. It'll be the exact same chart. You just have to invert that chart. So, cultures where the dads hang in, focus on education, especially in this country, they definitely land on their feet.
Pretty simple.
Simple equation.
Educate and keep a good community strong. Pretty simple.
You're basically the world's greatest personal trainer who just goes, diet and exercise. Just work out and just eat an apple. That's all. I'm an expert. Now you're in shape. Great. Easy. Can't do it. None of the politicians or the race hustlers will go in on it. And so you take something. So it's just kind of the same with Israel. So you take all the leaders of the black community. The number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 problem you have is families and no dads at home. Okay, those are the only problems you never talk about. You go right to the bottom and get to some made-up systemic something or whatever. So you'll never talk about what's actually causing this. You go and talk about something else, and you're the expert, and you care the most about this group, except for I would argue you don't. But the Jews have always been successful, and that brings shame out in people. And when
the
people
Jews
get
have
shameful,
not always been successful.
No.
The Jews have always been resilient. So the Jews have been around for thousands of years, and there's been anti-Semitism, which is anti-Jewish racism, which is hatred towards Jews, for as long as Jews have been around. So the first accounts of anti-Semitism we found in Alexandria in 300 BC when they talk about this weird people. So the Jews throughout history ebbed and flows in terms of their success because we were kicked out of Israel and we're then in the diaspora for 2,000 years and we're pretty discriminated against or pretty persecuted. But what came out of it is a strong resiliency. So what happened on October 7th was that Yahya Sinwar and Iran have miscalculated the Jewish people. They miscalculated the resiliency of the Jewish people, their unwillingness to back down, and their desire for life and for freedom and to stick around. And what we're seeing right now, after nearly 2 years of fighting, is that the Iranian proxy in the region is falling apart. It's completely fallen. It's completely decimated. So we're in a moment in time right now. I can use the F word here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in a moment in time right now where with Israel and Iran, which is essentially the biggest export of terror around the world, where we are right now is fuck around, find out.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And now
the Jews got upset. The Israelis got annoyed. We've tried to tell you for a very long time, stop calling for our destruction. Stop trying to try and kill us. Stop spending all these billions of dollars on proxy militaries around on our borders. We're coming at you. And that's what's happening today.
Yeah. And you're right. And I should clarify what I'm saying. Historically, Jews, I don't know, we're discriminated against.
Recently, the Jews have been successful because we've been relatively free.
Yes, but
so
if you ever talk to anybody in America that has some sort of anti-Semitic whatever, although they would never call themselves anti-Semitic,
totally.
it's just
I'm
a
not
lot
anti-Semitic.
of. It's just a lot of. They've got the power. They stick together. They make all the Hollywood decisions.
That's the right. There's a left. There's a version of it on the right, and there's a version of this on the left.
No, the left does that one too.
The version of anti-Semitism. So first of all, the thing to understand about anti-Semitism is a shape-shifting conspiracy theory. So it attributes to the Jews mythological powers that don't necessarily exist, but it's shaped in both like looking down and then looking up. So on the right, it sounds like space lasers, right? The Jews have used space lasers.
No, I'm saying,
and they control the banks, they control the money, they control Hollywood.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I don't talk to those people. I mean, look, I'm going to throw out any fringy space laser people. Because
so, by the way, did I say the left? It's on the right. Did I say the
No, you said the right.
Okay,
I
so on the right,
experienced it on the
sounds
left.
like that. And the left, it sounds something different.
They kind of stick together. They have the power.
Yes.
And they sort of take care of their own. And I'm like, yeah, but now, well, they do. Like, look, Armenians do that in Glendale. They just do. They're a group. They look after each other.
Right.
Mark Garagos is Armenian. He'll help another Armenian guy out for pro bono, because he's in the tribe. And I go, well, yeah, okay, good. Stay together. Have a culture. Have a community. That's
good.
But
now anti-Semitism on the left looks differently. So anti-Semitism on the left today looks like anti-Zionism. It looks like Israel is actually the source of all evil. Israel is the country that is the colonialist endeavor that needs to be dismantled. That's where anti-Semitism is today from the left.
Yeah. So when you lose your minority status with the left, then you're an open target. All you are is a rich person who's a non-minority, who's flourishing, and there's a lot of brown people suffering around you, and you must have caused it. So they have a problem. Okay, so they do the
Which,
left.
by the way, is ridiculous that the Jews are not considered a minority, considering that there are less than 16 million Jews in the entire world, and we're 0.2% of the world population. So if that's not a minority, I don't know what a minority is. The problem is that
Asians
what they
aren't considered minorities here because they do well in college.
Exactly.
Right.
The problem is that what it turned into is melanin in the skin. And this framework of oppressor and oppressed, which is reductive and unhelpful. And when you start looking at everything through the lens of melanin in the skin and oppressor and oppressed, that's where you mistakenly putting the Jews in the oppressor category.
Well, the left is way overly simplistic about the world and the economy, which is Bernie Sanders, who's a fucking retarded old shithead, gets up there and he's like, if these people who have all the money would give the little money back, then these people could thrive too, but they won't give them any of it. It's like, it's not how it works. But that's how they think everything works. So if Israel is flourishing and doing well and the neighboring countries impoverished, well, it must be because Israel took all of the money I don't know. Is it the same currency even? They took all of the money and they won't let them have any. And that's the way these oversimplistic
Which
sort
is
of...
ridiculous.
It's retarded,
which
but
is
that's
ridiculous,
how they think.
because if you think of the Palestinian people right now, were, for example, in terms of Gaza, the Palestinian people were given Gaza in 2005. Unilaterally, Israel pulled out of Gaza and handed it over to the Palestinian people for them to create a flourishing Palestine. And what did they do? Create October 7th.
Right.
That has nothing to do with Israel. That has nothing to do with the Jews, and has everything to do with refusing the existence of a Jewish state in the land of Israel. And you know what? F them.
There's a part of it which is racist against the group who they're trying to help, which I always bring up, which is they don't really look at them as people.
Totally. It's completely fetishizing the Levant.
We do it with blacks here.
Oh,
we just go, they don't know. They can't get IDs. They don't have access to a checking account. Those people, they can't get water when they're waiting in line to vote. They don't understand. Like we do it. We infantilize them.
Yeah.
And
have you seen that video on social media of the British guy that tried to go and save the Muslim babies and was talking to all these Egyptians? Did you see that?
No, maybe we can find it.
You should find it.
It's always good when they talk to them and they're like, we want them dead.
Oh
we want everyone to die.
Yes, and they're being attacked and these
Yeah, so what they do is they take, we do it. It's happening in Los Angeles right now when they go, we can't have National Guardsmen show up. It scares these people. They get agitated, and then they punch a cop's horse. It's like that. You're talking about animals. You're not talking about people. When I'm scared, I don't rush a cop's horse.
Right.
When I'm scared, I go home and I hide. That's scared. Normal scared people hide at home. They don't attack horses with cops on top of it. That's not scary. Yeah, but these people are agitated and they're fearful. Right. But that's what happens. I go with animals. Everyone whose dog bit someone, they go, he was scared. It's like, I still need stitches. Right. Yeah, but he was scared. You scared him. Because that's what happens with animals. They look at Palestinians and other folks in the Middle East as sort of animals.
They look at Palestinians as people that have no agency and no decision-making of their own lives whatsoever. Right. And they fetishize the Levant while cosplaying and pretending to be some sort of Middle Eastern, it's Orientalist keffiyeh wearing, Karens wearing keffiyeh. They literally don't understand the culture in the Middle East. They don't understand the culture of radical Islam. They don't understand the culture of jihadism. They don't understand when you talk to these people and you try to explain to them what Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, what is that country about? They don't know this. So they don't know that by supporting Hamas and by supporting, not being against Israel, taking action in the Middle East, which is what's happening right now, they're actually leaving every single moderate and woman and LGBTQ plus community, every person that they say that they're supporting, they're leaving them out to dry in the Middle East because those are the most oppressive regimes and they need to be taken out. And that's what Israel is doing right now. And when people ask me, what do I think about what's happening right now, about this war that is out in the open between Israel and Iran, it's been covert for decades. Iran has been attacking Israel and the U.S. and U.S. allies for decades, but hiding behind proxies like Hamas and the Houthis and Hezbollah, right? What I say about what's happening right now is you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. We're doing right now, just imagine if we can take back time and go back to before North Korea had a nuclear bomb and take that out. Just imagine what the world is going to be like, so what the world would have been like right now. So we made that mistake in the 90s. We sat around with an irrational regime and we signed a deal that we thought was a rational deal. And now we ended up with nukes in North Korea. It's the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is a fundamentalist, Islamist, insane, psychotic, backwards, middle-aged regime that is oppressing its own people, cannot be allowed to have a nuclear bomb or ballistic missile program.
Right.
And we're doing the job that the world needs to do, and we're just doing it for everybody else. Well, and you know what? The Saudis know this. The Emiratis know this. All these people in the Middle East, they absolutely know this. And I know that they're supporting what's happening right now. And hopefully Iran will come to the table to have a conversation faster rather than not.
That video you spoke of, any other clues or my people could find it on the internet?
It's a good question. I'm sure my team can find it. So you know how Greta Thunberg tried to sail on the selfie yacht?
She's a delight.
To break the blockade with 6 boxes of, some Cheetos or something, whatever, aid. So a few days later, there was a British guy. There was a group of them of activists coming to the border of Egypt, the border of Gaza from Egypt, and Rafah. And they were, first of all, they were attacked like crazy, like almost taken off the bus. And they're like, what's going on here? That's number one. Number two, there was this British guy that was standing there and crying alligator tears about, you'll see it. I don't want to mock him, but it was really, to see that, it was just like, wow, you have no idea about the culture of the Middle East. You don't know what you're doing. Go back home.